It's the Billy Revolution. It's up to you. Billy Revolution. Here's what you gotta do. The Billy Revolution. A quadrilateral grow under your chin, not in the center though, 'cause it's the Billy Revolution. It's the Billy Revolution. It's the Billy Revolution. Billy Revolution. Welcome this week to the Billy Revolution. I am glad to announce we finally have the opportunity for the marriage episode. We will take no responsibility if after hearing this episode you immediately leave your spouse. We are not legally responsible for the decisions you make after being informed by the Billy Revolution. What we're looking at today is real women and little boys. And real women and little boys is what we seem to have, not only, but we seem to have a lot of right here in the 21st century, thanks to the very beginnings of the dismantling of the patriarchy, while the feminist liberated movement in conjunction with that. And what it means is we have this fascinating shift. We have this fascinating shift happening before our very eyes. And it's not an entirely new shift, but it is a shift where we have real women marrying little boys, marrying little bachelors. And and the problem with this is that the men, for the most part, aren't getting the sort of satisfaction of participation in marriage and participation, especially in child-rearing couples. I think that the bachelor little boy mode may be tenable, at least, where there aren't children to be raised. But I think that the big shift comes, women might easily be marrying these men and not really noticing the dynamic of them being the decision makers and them doing most of the work, which statistics bear out in terms of housework, at least. And this is just, we want to look at the mental, the emotional and psychological ramifications of this more than we want to say that everyone is in this boat. Of course, not everyone is in the boat. Because the boat's already sinking without everyone on the boat. But what's interesting is that the lack of self-awareness in the little boys, and the Billy Revolution is fascinated with their inability to see what's going on and their inability to realize that participation in doing things is one of the most important things. And that's one of the reasons that our technological advances can be so difficult on people, because really a family, everyone participating, everyone contributing, everyone feeling like a contributor and a valued member is the best way to have a family dynamic that works. So children, we looked at the buddying episode a while ago where we had people buddying rather than raising their children. And it works for them too, and women are buddying their husbands until they have had enough, and then they finally snap. And we have to wonder how this happens. Why is it so difficult for communication between two people who are living together and raising a family? Why it's so difficult for them to observe what's going on? And I think one of the reasons it's possible is because we have a society with so many distractions. And we have a society that allows us to be so invested in ourselves. This is one of the great issues of the individualism that is rampant in the Western world, rather than thinking about the community and the greater good, and even the family unit and the greater good for the family unit. So I think that there are a number of ramifications. I think that a lot of women maybe enjoy the initial high of being the grand decision makers and the controllers. I think that, the patriarchy had so many negative ramifications over women having a say about how things were run. Dad would be the buck stops here at good old Dad. And I think that taking that away is amazing, and I think it's really important. But I think what we need still is we need the little boys to become more than little boys and to become participants. And I think that we need the real women to have all of their sides. So the woman who is working, breadwinner, house, raising the kids, and doing everything, that's probably not an enviable position to be in. And the man who's sitting around sucking his thumb doing nothing is probably not an enviable position to be in. And so I think the Billy Revolution this week is simply saying that this role change will benefit by that. Of course, it's great that we live in a time where divorce is so easy and women don't have to tolerate it. But I think the important way to look at it too is that the men are really missing out by not being participants and not doing the work that they need to do. So thank you for listening to the Revolution today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And remember, if it's bothering you, it's worth talking about and worth doing something about. Melinda is really getting very concerned about garbage. Garbage in the air, garbage in the land, garbage in the water. And so she's driving an electric car. She's off the grid with her house. She weighs all waste and is actually at a stage where she's at less than a pound of waste a year. Paul is also concerned about the environment, so he stopped flicking his cigarette butts out the window. They're doing the same thing.
It's the Billy Revolution. It's up to you. Billy Revolution is what you gotta do. The Billy Revolution, a quadrilateral grow under your chin, not in the center though, 'cause it's the Billy Revolution. It's the Billy Revolution. It's the Billy Revolution.